Well, what is happening, Marvel fans alike? What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. I am Dial, and welcome to another edition of my live. And today we are journeying back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, talking about all the films and shows. If you guys are new, first of all, welcome. I hope you hit a like and subscribe while you're here if you like what I do. But I have talked about all the previous films in and shows in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I have a playlist called MCU. Talked about everything from Iron Man to the most recent film Thor: Love and Thunder, and of course we talked about all the shows from WandaVision up until Moon Knight. If you haven't seen any of my reviews on those, check out the link in the description below. It'll take you to the playlist called MCU. But today, we are going to be talking about the most recent show on Disney Plus. We'll be talking about Miss Marvel. I'm very excited to get into this. For once, I'm actually looking forward to talk about a Marvel show today. But I am not alone. I'm going to have some special guests here momentarily. Hopefully, they'll be able to come in time. But joining with me today, someone who's actually on time, we have on the first time on the channel, we have K Dot. What is going on, my brother?
Yo, what's up, Dia? Came to kick it for a bit. I only got 30 minutes, but I can spare it.
Hey, 30 minutes is good enough for me, man. Glad you can come on. Hopefully, we have a couple more guests coming in soon. But yeah, let's check out the chat real quick. Who's in the chat? Oh, that's you. On the way. I only stay for 30 minutes. Yep. Okay. Cool. Great. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's get into this. So as always, I have to remind the people out there that this is a spoiler-filled discussion. We're going to talk about everything about the show. We're going to get into details. So if you have not seen Miss Marvel and you don't want anything spoiled, please go watch it on Disney Plus and then come back and listen to this. If you don't want to know anything, it just wrapped up its finale a couple of days ago. Go ahead, check it out. So you have been warned. All right. So you guys know my opinion on the Marvel shows up until this point. To me, they have been very, very lackluster, and that's being nice. I know people have, people are fans of some of the shows out there. Like I know a lot of people love WandaVision, they love Loki, they really like Falcon and Winter Soldier. Um, there are elements. Oh wait, another guest came in. Returning back to the channel, we have Ashley, aka the Widow. Hello, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
You should.
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing great, doing great. Happy to be here.
Glad you could come back. Uh,
Yeah,
so
of
yeah,
course.
just
Sorry I was late, but you know me, I can't.
yeah, it's okay. That's pretty much how we
Okay.
roll.
Yeah.
Check out the chat real quick. Caden, what's up, my dog?
Let me share the stream.
Thank you. Appreciate you sharing the stream. And as always, please like the stream if you liking what you're hearing, you liking what you see. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, plug in my channel just like Mad Max. So yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
I was just getting to my thoughts on Miss Marvel. So as I said, yeah, I am as up until this point, you guys know I have not been impressed with the shows. I know people love WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki, and there are good elements of that show. I'll admit it's not complete garbage, but for me, they have been very, very underwhelming, and I have not felt the urge to revisit any of them, with the exception of What If, because I legit enjoyed that. But after the steaming pile of dog crap that was Hawkeye and the very
uh,
and the extremely underwhelming and boring Moon Knight, I'm like, they just they just lost their minds, haven't they? Like, what is going on, Kevin Feige? What are you doing? Why is this a mess right now? And I'll even say, even though I enjoyed the films still, even I'm feeling that it's starting to be a little bit of a mess as well. I'm just like, what is going on with Phase 4 right now?
DL, you wanna know what it is?
Please tell me.
I feel like Kevin Feige's at the point ready to retire. He got a piece of hut he wants to open up. He just wants to be a simple man. He's just not. He don't got his hands on things no more. So he's just ready to move on. Live a simple life. Probably open up a local. He might open up a pizzeria. Open up a pizzeria, and just call it Feige's. Live in some rural town where there's barely anybody. He's on his way out, man. He's giving up. Is that right, Ashley?
No, absolutely not. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm in the hater pool right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are hating.
I wish it
You're a
was that.
hater.
I wish it was that simple. That Kevin Feige wants to live a simple life, but as soon as you sign the contract with the mouse, they will never let you go. Especially when you've made them billions of dollars. So no. So yeah, my enthusiasm for like the Marvel show specifically just down to the ground. Like I'm not expecting anything good coming out. I'm like they've lost their mind. They don't know what they're doing with these shows. Then came along Miss Marvel. That was their next project after this, and I'm like, oh, what a shame, what a shame. Because I actually like Kamala Khan from the comics. I think she's a fun character. She reminds me a lot of Spider-Man. Those lower tier
Oh, she's better
superheroes.
than Spider-Man right now in the MCU.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Already with the hot takes? Already with the hot takes right now?
I don't
Whoa.
think it's a hot take. I think that's a cold take.
Oh, no, I don't agree with
In
that
the
at
MCU,
all.
I'm not talking like Marvel in general. In the MCU,
Well, I think after No Way Home, I've started to change my tune on Tom Holland. But I see why you say that. Before that point, it was kind of in a flux, so I get that. But like, man, it's such a shame. She's going to be resorted to the low standards of a show. So it's like there's no telling where how they're going to write her character. It already gave me red flags that they changed her powers from the comics as well. Like a drastic change. Cuz like in the comics, she has stretchy powers just like
but
Mr. Fantastic.
She and
changed.
Biggins in the end, so
They
she doesn't Biggin.
they changed
It's
and
different, but she's still in
added to her
Biggins in the
powers.
end. They changed, added, and adapted her old powers, and she used the word in Biggin, and it's just a new concept in Biggin, but she's still in Biggins. It's just different.
Right. Um So even yeah, like I get they're probably gonna still try and keep the essence of what her powers were, but I didn't feel like it was necessary for them to go from stretchy powers to constructs. I think the only reason they did that is because they're planning to have her be in the Marvels movie with Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau, and I guess they want her powers to look consistent with them. So that's probably why they did it.
Yeah, I guess
Uh,
just similar energy based powers.
Right. And it's like, oh, another thing that Marvel ones up on DC. Like you had to catch up with the constructs before we can get a Green Lantern movie. Like, come on, y'all.
Hey, she wasn't doing really any good constructs. Like she made with some platforms. She was eye with the constructs.
What's up,
When
Andrew?
when that Green Lantern show comes, we about to be making construct cars, construct sneakers, construct everything.
I better get a bunch of constructs because we didn't get much constructs from the first thing that Berlanti gave us with Green Lantern. But anyway, I digress. So I was okay with the change. I was more concerned about how she was going to be written. Um, So when it came to the marketing, it looked all right. Looked like a typical Marvel show. It looked very like low stakes, which I wasn't expecting end of the world stuff from Miss Marvel, and I think that's a nice change because all the other shows and movies recently have been feeling like big end of the world stakes, especially when they're introducing multiverse stuff. So it'd be nice to take a little break and have a little friendly neighborhood superhero in the MCU. So I was hoping for the best, but my expectations were extremely, extremely low. Wasn't expecting it to be good, but please, you can't be worse than Hawkeye and Moon Knight. You can't be. You can't be. So, I actually didn't. You know what? I actually didn't watch this weekly because you guys know I'm jaded. So I actually waited till all the episodes aired, Because I just at this point I don't feel a need to watch these episode by episode because of the pacing of the first half or the last half of these shows are like so lopsided. Barely anything happening. I'm like, why are people urging to watch this weekly? So I waited till all of these episodes aired, and everyone was telling me, "Wait, wait, DL, this is different. They heard you. This show's for you, man. They actually heard you. It's actually good. It actually feels like a show now." I'm like, "Really? Really? Is that so? Are you guys just overhyping it again? Because I heard this before. Because people loved Moon Knight at first, and then it took a drastic turn. So I'm like, I don't know about this, but you know what? We'll see. We'll see. But they're like, no, TL, they did it. They did it. They actually made a good show. I was like, all right, well, let me be the judge of that. Sitting down and watching this thing, what did I think? How did this show make me feel? You know what, guys? This is a first, ladies and gentlemen. I actually liked most of this show. Yes,
Was that
I actually didn't dislike this. There's actually a good amount of this show that I enjoyed. Do I think this is a good show? We're like in 75% there, but I will say this is a step in the right direction. I had a good time watching most of this. Um, man, who I dang I don't know. I do not have the actress pulled up. Whoever played Miss Marvel, who played
Iman
Kamala,
Vellani?
Iman Vellani. She's a national treasure. She's gonna go far in the acting biz, man. She was so
Oh, she's
great.
gonna take over Marvel Studios when got to get Kevin Feige out of there.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see about that.
He
But
But
if she,
retires, not when we get him out of there. He is
oh
not
no,
going
when we get
anywhere
him out of there,
anytime. It'll
Ashley,
be
he
30
gotta go
years from
now.
now. Stop.
You gotta go now.
I like how in the last year and a half you've like become more of an MCU hater than you were ever before, but it's okay.
I don't hate the MCU. I still like it.
you see why I had both of these guys on here. But yeah, man, like Kamala Khan, she was so great. Like I instantly was drawn to her. She's such an interesting character. She's such a likable, relatable character. She
Facts.
she gave me a lot of vibes. With how Spider-Man should have felt like in the first two outings with Tom Holland. Like this really felt like a relatable teenage, teenage girl going through, a hero's journey. Like it's the classic story. It was simple for the most part. It was easy to follow for the most part. Like it was relatable. And I just really found myself invested in, her development, with her friends and especially with her family, and it was nice to see more of the more of their the Muslim culture in this show. Like we get to see like different, just it's just a different vibe that we don't usually get from the MCU. Seeing more of that Pakistan culture, and it was very very interesting to watch. But yeah, the family stuff was great, and I actually ended up coming around to Miss Marvel's powers as well. I thought it was very cool how they pulled it off. Um, but yeah, I was really surprised with this show. I actually like this, guys. Man, it took them 7 shows, but hey, they did it. They did it. But that's how I feel. K Dot, let's start with you, my friend. How did you feel about Miss Marvel?
um, I overall ended up liking this show. I don't think it's better than Falcon and Winter Soldier, but as far as us having a starring character like Miss Marvel, she's great. Honestly, out of all the other issues I probably have to show, she's the best thing about it. She elevates it. She's a great leading character, very likable, relatable, more relatable than Tom Holland Spider Man. Wink, wink, right, Ashley?
No,
Silent.
She
I'm sorry. My window's open in my neighbor's car. So that was a horrible timing for that. But no, John, absolutely not. Be
Oh
quiet.
my
No
god. All right.
way. In a
Well,
million, gazillion, a bazillion, trillion years ever.
I love that she's a character. She got both. She's a character with both her parents. Her parents end up supporting her superhero outing, and her mom made her costume. But loved all that. The dad is supportive. He really didn't do much in the show. Not as much as the mother, because there was more of a conflict between her and her mother. But the dad did good enough. He gave her the speech to help inspire her to be the best person she can be. The powers, I really didn't like the change at all. Uh, you know, I really didn't like to change the powers. But other than that, the best takeaway for me from the show is that Kamala Khan is a great and relatable, very likable character. I mean, she's the best character so far, new character in Phase 4, in my opinion.
Hmm. Definitely up there.
I concur.
Great. Speaking of,
And
absolutely.
well,
I'm sorry. I'm
well,
sorry.
real,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go, please continue.
and for me, so since I only have 2 episodes I really dislike, and I think the final episode is like definitely a slight step up from 4 and 5. So overall, I do like the show. Um, for me, the action wasn't the strongest. I kind of wish the action was a little bit better. But other than that, it was a cool show. Oh, and the villain problem too. But freak the villains.
I actually agree with you on 4 and 5. Those are the main bulk of my gripes, and we will get to
Mine
that.
too.
Yep. And the villain as well. Oh man, yep.
They
Those
should have just
Really,
focused on the
all the
DODC, like instead of the clandestine, and it would have been more compelling if you just would have made like the government agency, like instead of having a sub villain and like the climax with the end with the DODC.
what's up,
oh, and
Tony?
real quick, I really felt like instead of them using damage control, I think that agency should have just been a sword. You know, because
I
damage control, they're janitors. I mean, they're not janitors, but they just clean up stuff.
no, but
So
they're the ones that when heroes like also prosecute heroes like almost or like come in and like try to straighten everything. I mean, like we saw what the extent of what they could possibly do in No Way Home. So they're not janitors. They're
no,
I
I'm
would
not saying
disagree with that
they
point.
just clean up. Like when Spider-Man has a fight with a villain, they come in and they
But
clean
they
up.
also investigate, like they investigated Spider-Man for possibly killing Mysterio.
I mean, but isn't that Sword's job?
They're still in. Sword is in the MCU. They're about sentient and alien technology and weaponry,
No,
so
I'm talking
it's
about the one on
different.
Earth, not the one on
Yeah,
Earth, not the
well,
one
I mean,
period.
there's only one
What
sword.
is the
Sword.
Earth, the Earth side?
Sword is like more about like sentient weapons and alien tech and like aliens and stuff like that. That's what sword is. DODC is like basically the ones that say the heroes get in trouble. They come and invent. They're kind of like what is like when you okay. I'm trying to think right now. Like when police officers, they're reps. What is it? They're what is the actual terminology here? Come on, I'm find me the word.
Detective. I
Not
don't.
the detective, but when a detective or a police officer commits the crime, the people that then investigate them. Essentially, that is what the DODC is.
Private investigators, I think. I don't know.
No, they're AI rep. I think it's an AI rep. It's like whoever goes and like make sure it's like a that the cops are or either they investigate if say if there was a shooting, they're the ones that investigate if it was just so that's basically what the DODC is. They investigate and then also sweep up like and grab and clean up the damage caused by destruction, but they also kind of like investigate the heroes if there's a controversy, like with Spider-Man. Internal affairs. Thank you, Tony.
Yes.
So they're kind of
internal
like the
affairs.
internal affairs in a way mixed with making sure that debris and these weapons don't fall into the wrong hands and
Right.
prosecuting heroes and defending them. Like we'll see more of that in She-Hulk because they're essentially like the internal affairs of superheroes.
I see.
Like I mean, like think about what they did in Spider-Man: No Way Home. They investigated him, then he was in charge, and he was cleared. Essentially,
Yeah, for investigators, they're not doing the best job, are they?
how are
Yeah,
they not? What did they do wrong?
That's why I say it kind of.
What do they do wrong along the lines of their investigation? They didn't charge Spider-Man with anything in No Way Home.
Well, you're talking about Spider-Man or Kamala? Because
what did they do in the case of Kamala Khan that was wrong?
Oh, they're just incompetent.
No, you had one ist on the on like in the organization who was basically, targeting a specific group of people. Them as a whole they weren't incompetent. You had a ist.
In episode 6, yes, because they was getting beat up by some softballs, and
I mean,
that's like Home Alone stuff, right?
I mean, they wasn't. I'll give them this.
I mean, but they were also, but that was like
Mafia.
They were.
Oh,
they are like the SWAT team that goes in, right? But when you have your investigators, so you have two different levels. You have the SWAT team. Yeah, the SWAT team was a little bit silly, but
I'd say all of them. They was all in con. They was them kids was giving on run for their money.
But they all weren't. I mean, you had one back at the headquarters. That one wasn't incompetent. The one that runs the whole thing, that told them not to go in, and then they went in anyway. He is not incompetent. Go in. I mean, she's an ist.
But I mean, he was just behind the scenes. He didn't really do nothing. He was just like that. He was her.
He's the investigator. That was his partner, but she was his captain, and she's the one that sent them in. So she was incompetent because of her racially motivated crap that got in the way, and she sent a team in when they weren't supposed to. Because they're also about reputation. They're also about making sure the public image of heroes in these situations doesn't go awry. And she, of course, was supposed to look like an idiot because she was an idiot.
No, there was. All right, well, we're looking at it like this, because when she did profile Kamala, she ended up being right that she was a Middle Eastern girl.
But she was being racist.
I know she was racist.
I'm sorry, I just said that word.
Well, and look,
am I going to get demonetized even though I'm not monetized?
And that's my that's one of my little. All right, so when she was interrogating the girl Zoe, right, into asking her like, what did she look like, what did she sound like?
Did Miss racially profiling?
No, well, I'm asking. During when Kamala saved Zoe, did she talk to Zoe or say anything to her?
She recognized her under the freaking helmet, though.
No. But I'm saying, like, did she hear her talk?
No, she didn't.
But she recognized her.
She was asking like what she looked like, was she brown, and then did she have like a Middle Eastern accent or something? And I'm like,
she said, was she Middle Eastern? She didn't. She was asking a bunch of questions. She said,
no. She asked her what she sounded like too, and I was like, Zoe doesn't know what she sounded like because she didn't sing.
I can't remember if she talked, but I thought, but she.
Yeah, I don't remember her.
But Kamala doesn't have but Kamala doesn't have a Middle Eastern accent.
Well, yeah, no, but she.
So that wasn't even a tell. Like, I mean, she just when she asked about the race.
Racial allegory.
So when she asked she was brown, that's when she started assuming like she could be Hispanic. Middle Eastern.
And then she got to Middle Eastern. She might have asked about, I can't remember if she asked, but she asked both because Kamala doesn't sound Middle Eastern. I have to go back and listen to it.
So before we start getting in depth about the damage control crap, we didn't even get to Ashley's thoughts. Kadia, please tell us what you thought about Miss Marvel overall.
I liked it. I didn't. Episode 4, I didn't like it at all. Really. It was the weakest episode. I liked episode 5, but I feel like, and I liked the backstory with Aisha, but I think they could have condensed that down to like 10 minutes instead of spending so much time on that. And I just feel like once they went to Karachi, it just went downhill, and it felt like it was rushed into the show. And I would have preferred if they would have stayed in Jersey City, because I feel like that's where all the compelling characters were. Like, I didn't really, outside of her Nani and her mom being there, you left her brother behind, her dad behind, all the supporting cast that I feel like elevated the show around her and gave her a new set of characters that just weren't as compelling. Like the Red Daggers, I didn't really care about them. The clandestine just are horrible overall. And I miss Bruno and Cameron and everybody. So like, to me, 4 and 5 was weak.
I agree.
But but I 1 and 2 was very, very strong. 3 was very good, and I feel like it ended on a pretty strong note as well. So overall, I would say it's overall it's a good show. I mean, it's not perfect. It has like I said, that middle just you could tonally tell the difference in once 1 and 2, how those were directed like by amazing directors,
Dude, the directors of Bad Boys for Life, man.
and Batgirl.
And Batgirl. Yes, the upcoming Batgirl
Yes,
movie.
they directed the first 2 episodes, and you could, and then you
Shouts
go to
out DC
episode
people.
3.
See
Um,
that DC
um,
ass.
but they directed Miss Marvel and executive produced Miss Marvel before they did Batgirl. So shout out to that. Anyway, and I'd been, and so
Shout out
yes, they
DC.
did.
Thank you, DC.
No, they got the job at Marvel first, honey. Okay.
But they was
Um,
already look.
no,
It was
they got
already
the
destined
job at
for DC.
Marvel
It was destined for
first.
DC first, but they can't. They just
Stop
decided
it.
to take two jobs at the
I'm
same time.
telling you, it's not an exclusive deal. If Miss Marvel comes back for season 2, they'll still be executive producers probably, and they'll still have some type of oversight of the show. Because they really love the character and they were excited. So I see if it does have a season 2, they'll be back. Um, but I was the one that said that they should direct a Superman movie, and everybody thought that I was crazy before they even got Miss Marvel, and even before they had anything to do with Batgirl.
A Superman
So
movie.
A
yeah,
Superman movie?
yes, I could see that. I could see them because they are such like joyful, happy directors. I could see it happen. I'm telling you, it would work. It would work. I see it in my.
I got to see how Batgirl goes. I got to see how Batgirl.
I mean, I feel like Batgirl's going to be a little bit darker and it's going to be different, but they do like really like when you think of like the type of stuff that they do, it would work. But Batgirl's going to be a little different when it comes to like tonally, probably a bit.
You're talking to the Superman guy, and I don't know if I fully see that yet, but
I see it.
tell.
I'm not a Superman.
Exactly.
I hate him.
Exactly.
But I know who Superman is and what it needs to be.
Do you know what it needs to be, even though you're not?
Yeah,
a fan?
It doesn't need to be Man of Steel. I know. Yeah, I'm a fan on the basic standard level.
Watch the slander of Man of Steel on my channel.
But you can trash any
Captain
MCU
Marvel
property on my channel.
I do not trash every MCU property on your channel. Just because I don't like Ragnarok, you
let me say, and you didn't care for Thor: Love and Thunder. I will say, Man of Steel is a good movie. It's not a Superman movie, and it should have just been the story of Bobby Booker. Okay, anyway, back to Miss Marvel. I've been saying this for how long though, Dot?
Bobby Booker. Hold
you don't remember that? To the watch party? He doesn't remember anything.
Who's Bobby Booker?
I said like if he's with some random guy and his name was Bobby Booker. You don't remember that when we did the Man of Steel watch party 2 years ago? Oh my god.
I mean,
he doesn't remember. Okay, anyway, Miss Marvel.
This is the Marvel podcast.
Tonally, 1-2 episode. You feel like how like with the direction of those two, those first 2 episodes were so strong. Then you bring in the next director with episode 3. While it was a good episode, it wasn't as strong as the first 2 episodes. And I don't think the director of 3, I don't know who did 4 and 5. I need to look that up. But I feel like that was the problem, kind of like with Hawkeye, like a bit when you've got all these different hands everywhere, and Loki had a specific director all the way throughout. Like the Falcon and Winter Soldier, they're like these earlier people, their hands were pretty close throughout the whole thing. Even like Bert, I think it was Bert and Bernie, like the directors on Hawkeye, the episodes that they directed were a lot stronger than the other episodes. Like, so it's just, and that's how I felt about this. Even though I enjoyed it, at times tonally it felt a little bit off and a little bit different sometimes. Especially 4 and 5.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my thing. Like, because like having different directors on the show actually can work, because we've seen that with The Mandalorian and stuff like that. But like, as you said, the first 2 episodes obviously were the strongest, and it's like it doesn't feel like every episode has a fully consistent direction style that Bilal and Adil did. I hopefully I said their names
I
right.
can't ever say their names right. I can't.
I
I
think
always have
it.
to like.
I think it's. Well, it's two things. Let's use a movie for example. The Lethal Weapon franchise. You know, all four movies directed by the same director. Now, let's say if not Mel Gibson, Peter Jackson came in and directed the third movie. Not saying it's gonna be bad, but you're gonna get a very different movie from your first two
Mm-hmm.
movies. Like a better example, a comic movie, Blade 1 and 2.
Mm,
Both movies are good, but Blade 2 is very different from Blade 1.
yeah,
Like visually, it's more
it's,
horror than
yeah,
it's very different from the first movie. It's not bad, but it's very
yeah,
different. But there's still that clear, like, there's still that clear connection between the
mm,
two.
Yeah.
Like they're not so drastically different. I really feel like a lot of these directors that just come in on these shows, let's say in general, it can be any show, they don't really consult. Like these people don't
Yeah, that's the
consult like
point that
they
I was
should
making.
to have the consistent vision that needs to be there. I don't think the consulting is really in depth as it should be. It feels like they just come in, say, "Hey, direct this episode." Okay, then deuces.
Yeah, that's the point that I was making. You obviously have different directors on shows that, but it
Right.
seems like sometimes a lot with these Marvel shows, like you bring in a specific director and then it just seems like tonally it doesn't fit. Like it's almost disconnected. Like for
Like a
example, like
Breaking Bad is a prime example of that. They got different
yeah,
directors each
yeah,
episode.
Better Call Saul. Like, well, Vince Gilliam, he directed a lot of Breaking Bad, and then you bring in like other people too. But like even Better Call Saul, like you have Rhea Seahorn, you have Vince
Yeah.
Gilliam, like Carlos Carlo Exposito. He directed episodes, so you have different directors, but they all understand what that tone of that show is, right?
Right.
And
mm-hmm,
I feel like here in with Hawkeye and with this show, especially in Moon Knight,
mm-hmm.
like they weren't all on the same page. Moon Knight was really the writers weren't on the same page, you
The
know.
writers were. Yeah, I felt like the direction was pretty consistent
Yeah,
most
it
of
was
them.
the writers. It was the show because because you had the writer. The first two episodes was different, and then he comes back for the last episode.
Yeah,
But so it's just like you all need to like you need to try to stay on that same page because if not, you're like, oh wow, this is great, and then it's like, ooh, this it doesn't fit, you know?
right. Why
Yeah.
didn't they just have Bilal and Adil like run the entire show? Because obviously they're
Yeah.
the strongest directors of the show. Like they actually have a vision. You actually felt their vision on this
Mm-hmm.
character, and it's like it's visually the most interesting. So it's like I don't understand why they just didn't have them run the entire thing. But
I think it's
They were the
maybe I this is what I think. I think it's maybe they want to test out different directors and stuff, or there's some deal and contracts made to where they need to allow these directors to do this, or that. Because they should have had the directors of Batgirl just direct the whole show, like all the way through, do all six
I wonder
episodes.
if Batgirl, like, because I think they got Ms. Marvel executive producers. They were signed on to direct, and I don't know if they were always signed on to direct the two episodes, or if Batgirl kind of conflicted with that a little bit. Maybe I don't know, but maybe they really didn't have the time to map out each episode and be working on this other project as well.
yeah,
And going into pre-production for that. It could be that, or it could just be, you know, you get executive producer credit. You're going to get paid for this. You're going to get paid to direct these two episodes. Our budget is this, even though it still has a high budget compared to television.
hmm,
Maybe that budget, where it is a TV show, maybe it was a payment thing, possibly. We don't know. Or it could just be, we'll give you the two because we've got this other thing in pre-production. Because imagine trying to direct and map out two things. That's pretty
yeah,
hard.
that's hard.
To direct 6 episodes of a show while you're also, doing a full length film. and going into pre-production, and you have to go, all that stuff that goes in with all these things. So it's just,
Yeah, Ridley
and you
Scott.
also have executive producer credit. So it's just a lot of, going on at one time. But
Hey,
we
you
don't
want to know
know.
what it
Yeah,
is? You want to know
Ridley
what it
Scott.
is? Hey, DL, actually, I want to know what it is. Hear me out. Hear me out. Those directors there was like, man, we just want to get back to working on the superior product that is Batgirls.
Oh my
They had to
God, that girl
leave.
is
They couldn't
not.
stay there. It was
I'm
getting
not.
poisoned by
Stop. You
that
see what I'm
MCU
saying?
stuff.
You have to do it every time. But guess what? Miss Marvel is out and Batgirl is not, and it's delayed. So there we go. All right, what
Wow,
else we
now it's
talking
coming
about?
2023.
Look, y'all. Y'all can combat Marvel and DC on your channel. We accept Marvel and DC on my channel. We
Well,
accept
if he
both
says
I,
something
sides.
whack, I have to respond.
I know.
But it's the
I
banter.
accept everything. It's just I accept everything.
Yeah, until he does it. But what else you got, DL?
but yeah, I did want to talk a little bit more about about the first two episodes, because like what I really liked about the direction is like the dreamscape sequences that they had in the first two episodes. I really liked seeing Kamala um s- narrate the story from her point of view and having her
Yes, I
daydream and
loved it.
everything. I thought it was absolutely
The
great.
weekend music fits so well too.
Oh, it did. I'm already a Weekend fan, so them putting in the Weekend song already made me happy. I'm like, yes, I want more
Well,
of
all
this.
right. So
Yes.
this is a slight critique if we talking about
it,
the
it
music.
was a
A huge
perfect
missed
fit.
Yes.
opportunity to not play Kanye West "Good Morning" in at that episode 2
I love
where
that
she
song.
came into like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
you should have played Kanye West "Good Morning." Throwing some
Good
T Pain in
morning.
there. Huge
Yeah.
missed
Not T.
opportunity.
No, not T Pain. I don't think T
What?
T-Pain.
Pain's
He
fine.
may be
I like
perfect.
T Pain. I
Welcome
like
to the
T
good
Pain,
life.
but I don't know if I see T Pain in Miss Marvel though. I could
I
see
can kind
Kanye.
of
Good
see that.
morning. I could
When it
see
when
Good morning.
I mean, I can kind of
Mm.
see that if she's really happy or excited about something. I can see them playing Good Life or something like that. I don't know. But just don't have Kanye rap because he raps about dirty stuff. But anyway, um, but yeah, I really liked all that. And then like even when like she's texting people, they do like some creative like effects with that, like showing like what
Yes.
they text, and they do like different images with that. I thought that was really cool. Like in like the pacing of the first two episodes, like it was going by really fast, but it didn't feel like it was going too fast. Like it was
The first
very
two episodes were longer too.
right, and you didn't feel it. You did not feel it. Like it was going by. It was like it had a terrific pace. Like this is what I wanted from the shows for the longest time. Like this is how the pacing should be. Like I'm invested from start to finish. Everything had this felt very energetic. The characters like had a lot of personality. So it's like this is what I wanted to see from the show, man. But yeah, as I said, like I cannot praise enough. What's the actress name again? I'm sorry.
Iman Vellani.
Iman Vellani. I
Iman.
always want to say Imani. I don't know why I always
I
call her
know.
Imani. I
I
do
look
it
at
all the time. It's Iman
yes,
Vellani.
Iman Vellani. I think her Instagram said Imani too. So I was like, wait, is that how it's spelled? Like, but no. But yeah,
I'm
her
looking
Yeah, I
at
as
always put
Instagram.
right. But
Running down,
her.
I think Reddit right now.
Mhm.
huh?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I
What's up?
think she only has a Reddit right now. That's
Oh,
the only
Reddit. Oh,
platform.
maybe that was a fan account. I'm sorry. I was looking.
But it
I was
is a
doing
yeah.
it.
But I yeah.
Okay.
You know.
But anyway, her as Kamala Khan. Oh,
What?
dang it. No sound. Oh, that ruined the
What?
joke. Dang it. I was going to do the con joke.
What
Anyway,
happened to it?
I don't know. I thought it had sound when I downloaded it. Well, my joke's ruined. Anyway,
StreamYard.
StreamYard. Gotta love it. Wait, let me try it one more time. Let me see if is it a. Nope. It is not
No
letting me do it.
sound. No
Gosh
sound.
darn it.
RJ's here.
It was such a perfect joke. Oh wait, yes, we got another guest
Gosh,
here.
I've got backup now.
The
Thank you,
Marvel
RJ, for showing
Maniac
up.
has come on
Another
the channel for the
MCU
first time.
show.
Is this the first time?
This is the first time, man.
Wow. Yeah, sorry I came in a little late. If you don't know, just TLDR, my AC broke yesterday, so it's been about 80 degrees in the house and 85 with 85% humidity, so it's been hell. But
What?
they finally fixed it. So,
Oh, jeez, man.
See,
So sorry, bro.
but I'm
see,
good
that's
now.
what happens when you're an MCU fan. Your AC doesn't work.
Well, that's what happens when you
Hey,
live in
K
the
Dot, I
South.
need you to chill out on the marble haze, okay?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's so easy to do it because these MCU fans just keep bullying me. So
I
it's
mean, I
easy.
know what it's like. I know what it's like. But I'm
He
trying
knows
to.
what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that he's right.
Oh my gosh! Not for
Wow.
quoting the MCU. These fans, bro.
You know what? You know what, Ashley? That joke was very
It was
hurrah.
good. RJ, you liked it, didn't you?
Of course.
Of course. Thank you. All right. Anyway,
Anyway, since you're here, RJ, please tell us what were your overall thoughts on Miss Marvel?
Um, well, I got to give a prerequisite because going into this, I thought I was gonna hate this show. I thought, oh god, this is gonna be the one show that breaks me because I'm like, they're changing so much. There's so much going on with this. I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this one, Chief. I'm like, changing all the power sets, changing some things. It's like I think the show might be a disaster, and I was so happy to be wrong. I think that this is probably my favorite Marvel Disney Plus show since Loki and WandaVision. I think it had one of the better finales for sure out of any of the Marvel Disney Plus shows. Maybe the best since Loki overall, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think that it did its job perfectly in not only being a great introduction to a great new character and a new part of the MCU we haven't seen before. I think it was very educational culturally. I think that it also did a great job setting up the future and really exciting directions to where it's like, okay, you're setting things up now that I'm actually like, okay, I care about this and I want to see where this goes. Now I actually really want to see the Marvels to see how the story continues, right? So I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, Kamala Khan has ended up being one of my favorite characters in the MCU right now. Up there with big surprises like Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi ended up being one of my favorites right now. But yeah, she's just so likable. She's so charismatic. She's funny. She's very relatable. And man, it just I just enjoyed watching her. And then even the stuff with her family, like some of the most interesting stuff in the show. I did not expect that. Just them going through their family, going through their family, like drama, whatever. Like it actually was engaging to watch, and it's like actually seeing their relationships unfold in the show. It helped to really make us, get behind Kamala even more. um, unless you had the typical thing of like, oh yeah, the mother's overprotective. She doesn't want her dressing like Captain Marvel because she thinks
Yeah.
that her outfit is like revealing
What
for
else really
some
funny though
reason.
that this show came out like a month or two after Turning Red came out earlier this year.
Yeah, I've been getting
Yeah.
Turning
There's a
Red
lot of
vibes.
similarities between this and Turning Red. I like both. I'm just saying there were some funny comparisons there.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely felt some Turning Red vibes there.
I think DL, since you mentioned it, I think personally, I understand what the mom was thinking, but I personally think she overreacted to Kamala's outfit because that was like the least revealing outfit out of all the outfits at that on that stage.
To be honest, because she's covered from neck to toe. So I'm like, what's revealing about it?
It was actually baggier than the other people's. Like it was baggy to the point where, like, let's say, people, it wasn't really any sex appeal about it, like the traditional comic sex appeal. Like it was
Yeah.
really none of that with it. I think the mom overreacted. I understand what she was saying, but she definitely overreacted to that costume.
True, true. Though, like the what I appreciated about it, because like even though it was overboard, it like for me they didn't take it too far.
Right.
Like it wasn't like she was completely embarrassing her all the time and stuff like that, or it's like you're grounded for half the year. Like no, they didn't do that. Like
Yeah, no, nothing was too over the top. I mean, even the brother character, oh, you think it's like, oh, it's gonna be like the siblings that don't like each other. It's like, nah, they love each other. Like everything's fine. He's a cool older brother, right? So it's just
hmm
like And the dad wasn't like the bumbling idiot. The dad was very smart. He was loving and kind, and I think he was a good role model too, right? I
Yeah.
think that in a lot of ways, I think it kind of negated sort of traditional what we expect when we see these kind of family stories. It kind of like avoided those stereotypes in a way.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Um, and also, I really liked her friends, Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. I had to say it, but I really liked Bruno in the show too. I really liked the friendship that Kamala has with them. You can tell they know they're very close. You can tell he slightly has a crush on Kamala, and they'll probably expand on that if we get season 2 or whatever they want to do with her going forward. But I liked all of that.
I don't know, man. Kamala player, she got like 3 dudes on her.
Oh yeah, I forgot Cameron as well. I'm like, out
See,
of it.
Thanos collects Infinity Stones, but Kamala be collecting these dudes. She be telling them what's up, telling them what to do.
Oh boy, let's not forget these are minors we're
Something
talking
else me
about.
and her have in common.
Wait, what'd you say?
Said something me and her have in common.
Oh my gosh! Oh my God! This subject has become.
Hey,
Um,
I noticed she
I
has three
mean,
potential
I'm not
love interests
saying.
now. If they want to go anywhere, she has 3 potential love interests for them to do like, just anything. She got a harem. She's doing her thing.
Yeah,
Can we just wait till she's 18 before we start
different
doing
area codes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness. Anyway,
So 18 in the show or 18? Like I'm confused. Show or real
both,
life?
both.
No,
Both.
she's 19.
Anyway,
wait, what?
Never
in real life,
mind.
she's 19.
Yeah, the actor's
Oh,
19.
she is 19. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's
Yeah,
like,
she's
well,
a,
she's 19. She's gonna be 20 next month, I think, or something like that.
Oh, I thought she was the same age as is the
oh baby girl.
America
Oh no,
America
she's not.
Chavez.
Oh
No,
no, she's
America
a
Chavez.
baby.
That's
She's a
like
Yeah,
that's like a
baby.
little girl. That's like
yeah,
15.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would. Yeah, she's a baby.
Okay. Like, dude, she Kamal looks so young.
She does,
Seriously.
but yeah, she.
I
I
mean, she's
remember. I knew
19,
she was.
man.
She's. Yeah, I remember she was 18 a year ago. So yeah, she's 19.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. That I guess it's not as bad. But RJ, actually, I want to get your opinion on that because we already talked about it. How did you feel about them changing the powers? How did you feel seeing it in the context of the show?
Like I said, prerequisite. I thought this was a complete dumb thing to even try and do. I thought, why are we doing this? What are we doing here? But in the context of the show, I thought I was fine with it. Honestly, like I thought it worked. I don't think I'm not like 100% in love with it, but I accepted it by the end of the show. I thought they still kind of kept at least some of the core aspects of like how the character fights and moves and does stuff with her new power set, despite it being very visually different. So overall, I was okay with it, and I'm all right. I thought it was pretty decent. I'm kind of I understand now why they did what they did. It's definitely to like kind of like set her up to be a little more visually interesting and distinct, I guess, especially because we're gonna get Reed Richards pretty soon.
Yeah.
Again, not in love with it, but
Hey, I guarantee you, Reed Richards ain't gonna do nothing that tight. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's
Hey!
gonna be
I will
everybody
not.
else doing the tight stuff on his team, not him. Trust me.
Whoa there. This is coming from a non-believer. I will not have squandering of the Fantastic Four unless you're talking about those movies
No,
that
no,
came
I'm
out
just, I'm just,
previously.
I'm just squandering Reed. I'm just trashing
Do
Reed.
not squander Reed's. Reed is awesome. You better put some respect on his name. I'm telling you right now. But I won't put respect
But
on him because
even Ashley knows Reed Richards ain't finna be doing no tight stretching stuff like Kamala be doing. Kamala be stretching like she in big end. She grows tall
dude,
and
Reed Richards,
giant.
like
She be
the
doing a
potential
lot.
for what he can do is limitless in a
I
way.
know.
anything she can do, he can do better. Anyway,
Well, when it comes to science stuff, he's like
yes,
superior.
the greatest
So
mind.
if
The
you're
greatest.
talking stretching, Kamala's far superior. She the goat.
Just wait until the Fantastic Four movie introduces Herbie the robot. Ain't nobody gonna care about Baby Yoda no more. It's all gonna be about Herbie.
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 Oh, and his name is Grogu. God damn it, call him Grogu. I'm
I
tired of
can't
this
stand.
Baby Yoda
Yeah,
crap.
I don't like baby. I correct people all the time. It's Grogu.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just easier to say
Baby Yoda.
Baby
You're
Yoda.
right, RJ. Go ahead. It's Baby Yoda, bro.
No, K Dot, no.
He. Oh yeah, yeah. He's been calling me baby. Yeah, it's Grogu. That. Yeah, I didn't even.
It's
I was looking at this dumb thing about Terrence Howard, kind of. So I lost it for a second.
But anyway, talk about the other supporting characters. Nikita, I thought she was pretty good. I thought it was kind of weird that Kamala didn't just tell her that she had powers, since she's just as close with her as she is with Bruno. But it's fine. It was whatever. And then Kamala's
I don't think
grab.
she was in the show. I don't think she was in the show enough to like for us to like
She was
Bruno. Like Bruno was enough in the show for us to start caring and liking him. She was in the show, but she wasn't like really doing nothing to where you can go like, hey, I like her or I hate her. She was just like there. She didn't really impact her life like Bruno was doing.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I think she slightly impacted her. I
She
mean,
wasn't a bad character, but I think she didn't do enough on screen to like get me to care about her in the slightest sense.
I guess. And then Kamala's grandmother, she was nice. So apparently she knew about the stuff with the bracelet and what happened with the jinn, whoever the what was that? What was that interdimensional beings called?
The clandestine.
The
Clandestine.
clandestine, yeah, and like typical grandmother, like I believe in you, even though your parents don't believe in you. I believe in you. It's the typical thing there. But I still thought she was likable enough. Um, okay, hold on, we're looking at the comments a little bit more. Tony thinks Nakia is
All
cute.
right, so since technically Kamala's mother is a clandestine too, could she put on the band and activate powers too?
No, because
No,
remember her DNA
established
is
that.
different. Remember they established that in the last episode because her brother was
Yeah,
like,
they
"Oh, I wonder if I could have
basically
superpowers."
only Aisha
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Kamala
because
had the DNA, the mutant gene to have those powers.
yeah, because you remember that it's
The
she has
Bengal
that
I
just
mean,
mutation in her gene.
but
The
the
bangle
grandmother and her,
unlocks
right?
the bangle unlocks it in her DNA.
But they're still clandestines, right? The mother and grandmother,
They're part
they're
Nor
all
Nor, yeah.
gents because they're
Yes,
Aisha's
but I
the
mean they're part. Like her mother is full,
why her mother
full.
didn't
Our
receive
great
the
grandmother, and then
gene.
half, fourths, and so forth. But yes, they all have it on her mother's side. But there's a mutation. The mutation is like it's not in every family member on her mother's side.
So, since we're talking about it, let's start getting into some gripes, because that definitely was one of my gripes. The stuff with the clandestines, the interdimensional beings. I'm like, what? Wait, what's
Realm.
going
They're
on
from a
right
different
now?
realm. Yeah, different realm.
Yep, and this is where things start to feel a little bit convoluted. Like when we started getting into episode 4 and episode 5, I'm like, wait, what? Oh, wait, huh? Wait, okay. So, yeah, I was okay with them changing the powers, but when they started explaining what it was, I'm like, this is overcomplicated. You don't need to make this so complicated. So there are interdimensional beings that can't age, and they somehow got trapped into our world, and they need the bracelet to go back to their dimension. However, the bracelet also gives the viewer it doesn't give them the powers. It enhances the powers that they already have because of mutation. We'll talk about that later. But so it can enhance people's abilities and also create cracks in the dimensions so they can go to their world. But wait, they can also time travel with it as well. If somebody stabs the bracelet hard enough, they can go back in time. But wait a minute. And so now
Because it's a transport, because that's what it is. It's a teleporting device, essentially.
okay, and now they're doing this
It's also a
overcomplicated
time
thing with
travel device too.
Right? Okay. Why?
Yes, but that's a closed loop. She was always meant to
Well,
do
it's
that, and
also, you
she's
could also interpret
teleported
it more
back
as
to
it's like
that.
it kind of had the memories of Aisha in there too, a little bit, where it's
It
kind of,
has
so it's like a time.
memories too.
Well,
That
no,
thing,
what I'm saying
that
is
thing is
like
OP.
it was
I
kind
mean,
of
it's
like
Kree
it
technology.
needed to close the time loop because Kamala was
Hmm.
supposed to go and guide her grandmother to her great grandfather.
What was the saying, RJ? Because I'm forgetting. What you seek is in front of you, or what you seek.
Yeah,
What is
some.
it?
Uh,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, is what the inscription on the band was. I can't.
Well,
I
all
need
right.
to.
Since
Okay.
that's in 4 and 5, right? And that's where the biggest problems of the villains come up. That's where the biggest issues of the show are.
Yeah.
That whole time travel sequence was like directed so weird because it her going back, okay, that's fine. But then you have the grandmother activating these purple powers and stuff. Kamala activate these platforms, and nobody cares about this rainbow goody stuff floating in the air around them. Like, does nobody see this?
Yeah. Nobody notices that's happening.
Nobody saw. I'm like, that girl is doing magic. Y'all don't see this?
And then I want to talk about more on a story standpoint with like it ends up that Kamala is the one that helps her grandmother get out of India. But it's like, okay, so what
Karachi. Yeah,
Karachi
well, she goes to Karachi. I'm sorry, she's in
goes to
India because
Karachi.
of the partition. Yeah.
Right, the
Yeah.
partition, exactly. But like, so what does that do for Kamala as a character? Like, does that really like help her more to be the to like to understand her her role in this? Like, does this really like have anything to do with her? And it's like, what is so important about the great grandmother? What is? I mean, of course, they have to connect to why the clandestines got where they were, but it's like I just feel like Kamala playing a part in the time travel that didn't really add anything for her. You know, it just didn't really feel as important. So that's why it just kind of fell flat for me. I see
It
what they were
was.
trying to do with them doing the India partition thing. That could have been something like really emotionally compelling with that because as I said, like I really like the Muslim and Pakistan culture they put in here, but it's like I don't know how that ties into the
Well,
overall
this is why
story.
I think what they should have just done was just Kamala. She sees like memories of the past, like she sees what happens, how the Bengal got into the family, and where she starts it. Not that she interacts with it, because that's why I didn't like. I just didn't like her having these time manipulation powers and stuff. Because you're taking a character and you're adding powers to them that they don't have. It's like taking Spider-Man and giving him the power of flight.
Well, it's really the that essentially comes from the band, the ability to teleport and to travel.
Well,
Like that's not in that power is not within her.
and that's why I want in the next movie, because I want them to kind of make it clear. Because the only time we seen her use these powers was with the Bengal at all times. So I hope in the next movie they make it clear, like she takes off the Bengal at some point in the Marvels, and she does use the powers. Because we know with mutants, they are born with abilities. They're not like Spider-Man
yeah,
who
I
got
could
his
see like the
powers from
Bengal getting
something else.
destroyed or something happening to it, and then she like still use her powers or something. It's like, oh,
Right,
Or that
and
she
yeah,
has to
if they do that,
relinquish
then
it.
I'm like 400% like she is a mutant because if she's using the Bengal all the time, is she really a mutant? Because then that's like you're using.
Yeah, because I mean, they said it just unlocked what was inside her, correct? But I think that with the Bengal, like probably she's gonna have to give it up at some point. Kind of like
Yeah,
going on with RJ says, especially because I feel like whoever this, it's linked to this Cree technology, and she's probably going to lose it. I don't know if in the Marvels or at some point she's going to lose it. I truly believe that because she doesn't need it to use her powers. It's basically like Thor with Mjolnir. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She might be using that to harness her powers, but she doesn't necessarily need it for her powers. Like she might have it still, if she needs, even keep it for like to teleport or something like that if she's able to keep it overall.
So I have another question. When Cameron's mother goes into that crack in the dimension and dies, and then Cameron ends up
Yeah, I don't know
getting
what that was.
powers.
Where I was like, what is this? Because I was confused. I was like, how you give him powers, but you clearly don't have no powers. You have
She
weapons.
does have powers.
Well, no,
But
Cameron
but she
inherited something happened with him in terms of like the dimensional stuff, so he got the powers that he wasn't supposed to have powers. He's not a mutant or anything. He just got the powers passed on to him,
no,
which
yeah,
is
I'm
why
not
he couldn't
saying
control
mutant,
it.
but the mom definitely was a part of
She
the reason he
sent
got
those
those powers.
powers to him. Like it was, it was,
A
yeah.
gift
Or he
from
Right,
was the only he
God.
was the only clandestine left in that group, maybe. So maybe the powers just transferred to him automatically because they all died trying
But
to
in the
enter
She,
earlier
the veil.
episodes,
but
they
she
just
called
using
to
like
him,
weapons
so
and
it
stuff.
was
They have no
just she
powers.
called to him.
So is Miss Marvel gonna have a sidekick?
No, I think Cameron's
No,
not going to see Cameron for a while. He's going to go join the Red Daggers.
yeah, he's in Karachi, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
for a while.
speaking of underdeveloped characters, the Red Daggers, man.
Oh God, I hate it. I did not like him.
What is going on?
I like the
That
kid.
dude in the red mask was
I
super
do
tough.
like the kid with the
I
red
felt
thing
bad for
on
the
it.
other guy
Yeah.
though, the adult man, because he's like a big actor and he's only in like a couple scenes and he just gets
Oh
stabbed.
yeah, this guy.
Yeah, I liked him more than I liked the kid. I'm sorry, because
He was
I'll
so
be honest, the
he
weakest part
felt
of the
like
whole show.
he almost felt like a Power Rangers character, like super corny. He felt like an anime character, kind of too over the top, like being hella extra. I'm like, all right, bro, chill. He was
Yeah.
super extra.
Yeah, it did feel very Power Rangers y.
My biggest complaint with the whole show, honestly, like I really like this show, but I think the villains are like the worst part of the show.
Oh my God, they were
and
bad.
she and what's Cameron's mother's name again?
Najima, I think.
I could not. She was so bad.
Najima!
And
Yeah,
she was like,
I'm
she
just
was
being honest,
like,
villains suck. They were bad.
and she was like, and Kamala was like talking to her, and she was like, "What about Cameron?" She was like,
I love my son again.
I know, no, she's like, I left him
behind.
I was like,
That was so
What?
random. I
and
was
then
like,
when she left
what?
him, I was like,
By the way, did you love that shot where she turned to a crystal and you saw the skeleton like it was like Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that.
Oh my gosh, that was.
I even
Yeah, I
thought
love that too.
whole-
Like that's my biggest complaint. Like all that build up with these clandestines, they get to the veil, they just die and turn into like
Yeah.
skeletons.
Yeah,
I know,
all
and
of
it was like, what were they like? Instead of like being a group of them, you could have
should
just
have
had
been one.
one.
Yeah,
You should just done the mom.
it should have just been the mom and her son.
It just like it just was like,
They
and
needed
then,
a
like,
group for action sequences. That's why though.
Oh dang! I wanted to
hate
get
that.
I wanted to get K Dot's grade before he left, but I'm thank you for coming on, K Dot. Hopefully I can get you on another stream really soon.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Anyway, continue.
No,
Yeah,
it's just like
please
I said,
continue,
the villains are
RJ.
just disappointing. And again, like honestly, what I would have done, I think that they should have leaned more into damage control. I think the lady.
That's
from
what
Damage
I
Control,
said. Oh my gosh,
the lady from
RJ.
Damage Control, that lady that kind of like weird lady who was kind of like vaguely kind of racist. She should have been the main
Yep.
villain of the whole show.
Honestly, yeah.
Didn't I say all this before RJ got here?
Yeah, you
I
certainly
didn't watch
did.
the stream. I
You
didn't watch the
certainly
stream. I got
Oh my
here.
god, yeah. Like no, I didn't mean it like that. I meant like I agree with everything you're saying. Is what I mean. Like you're spot on. Is what I meant. Not like
Yeah.
like spot on. Like that's exactly how I feel.
I think that she was like interesting and like you were rooting for her to like get her comeuppance, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
more compelling villain.
Plus it would feel more street level too.
It would. It would.
Like I'm not saying you can't do like because you I don't know because you have to explore where her powers came from. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they did it the way they did.
I mean, the clandestines could have been an interesting thing, but it's like they just, first of all, whatever their abilities are were underwhelming compared to Kamala's, and it's like their development just like went to a screeching halt when Najma died. It's like we just
It just was like
it's like that story just ended. It's like boop, we're done.
It was like, what? You thought that I was the main villain and that we were going to be the final showdown? Psych.
What the
Wait a
twist?
minute. Like, And like I just was like, no. And then
I
they had,
left
and then
him
the
behind.
I love the wedding,
Mother of
but
the
I
year.
like when in episode 3, I
Oh,
love
I
the
love the
wedding,
wedding
right?
too. I love that
But
whole
I
The wedding
episode.
was great.
but when they came in with their dumb weapons and the
With their
guy like
whips.
takes his belt off, I was like, nah.
Yeah, he was
That
gonna
was
hit her
so
with that belt,
stupid.
man.
So you gonna spank her? What is
I think that's
this?
what he was gonna do. He's just like, all right, give the belt.
Yeah, he's like, you little girl, you've been bad. I mean,
Ugh.
spank you. Not like in that kind of way, but like, not a.
Child.
You know what I mean?
He's
Like,
a child. Anyway.
I just said not like that. Like capital punishment, parents like spank their kid, like that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Not
Yeah.
like a nasty way. God.
Just messing with you. But yeah, man, when they pulled out the whips, I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, like I said, we barely got to know any of the other members. Like they
And
were
they
like
were just like-
non-characters. They were just like
and they were-
goons.
And they were doing like the cheesy like goon walk and like
The good walking.
and
See,
like.
But imagine though if it was damage control trying to arrest Kamala, right?
Yes,
And that would
it would
make
have been
sense
perfect.
because like they're goons anyway, so they don't need to be like big developed characters. Just focus on like the couple head agents.
Yes. Or in the inner conflict between the two partners and how she was like such a, she was kind of racist.
Like,
Like
yeah,
we
let's
talked
say, like,
about. And
Like yeah, they raid the wedding, right? You could still do it that way, but she has to go on the run, so she goes to Karachi to go learn about her powers.
yeah,
comes
it
back.
would have been. Yeah, it would have been a lot better because like.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, like I love the show still. I'm just saying, like the villains are just like whatever. But that tends to happen in origin stories anyway, because the villains never get the attention because all of it needs to go on the hero and their supporting cast, which I get.
But I feel like it's possible to have a good origin story and the villain can be good as well. We've seen
It's
that
hard
done
though
before.
because it's the running time, man. Like you can only dedicate so much.
I think we've got some good ones like
The only one I can think of is the original Spider-Man with the Green Goblin.
Obadiah Stane. He's
Yeah.
he was a good like dual villain in Iron Man. Even
Yeah. Loki in the first Thor movie.
Loki, Shang-Chi until they
Shang-Chi.
flipped it in the end. But I mean, he learned from his lesson. But the
Yeah.
whole father-son dynamic and the father being the villain, I really like that part of that movie. I really liked. It was like a lot of stuff that later on just made me not really care for that movie. But so yeah, I think you get it sometimes, but I know it just seems like the villain is slightly underwhelming the majority of the time. So I do agree with what RJ's saying. But
like-
you do get those gems here, here and there.
Here and there. Which, that's an upgrade for the Marvel shows in my opinion. But
No, like that's the worst villain. Like for any of the Marvel is one of the worst. The clandestines, like they are just on par with the Flag Smashers.
I
Okay,
was just gonna say that.
oh well, you talking
These
about
are-
damage control or the clandestines?
the clandestines.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I
Okay.
think the clandestines are probably the worst MCU villains
Mhm.
since.
Oh, they're pretty horrible. Yeah.
like
They're almost worse than Taskmaster.
But the thing is, though, with the Flag Smashers, though, they reshot most of Falcon Winter Soldier.
yeah,
because
that
the
was
plot
because of
was about
reshoots. Yeah, and the plot.
virus.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
most
and
of their story
you
got-
could tell that that's a lot of that story was missing and cut out and chopped about, and it just.
which makes me scared about Secret Invasion.
I know.
so
I
that-
just made a video talking. I just made a quick little video talking about that.
Oh boy.
We'll see though. I think it'll be better though. I'm not too.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping they learn that lesson with rewrites and reshoots and it not feeling disconnected.
But didn't they like that? I don't want to get in a tangent, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, didn't you realize what you were filming when you were filming it just a couple months ago? Like,
I mean,
But this was prior. I think they filmed it prior, and then the stuff happened, and that's when we got. Oh, you remember it was supposed to come out in 2022, and then
got delayed to next year.
Yeah, because of that stuff.
so here's the real question: is the clandestines worse than the tracksuit mafia?
The tracksuit mafia is not that bad.
They
They're
weren't
They're
that
just
bad.
like,
horrible.
They weren't that.
They're awful.
but they're like
They were funny
goons. They
though.
weren't the main, but they're
Funny.
not like the main villain. Like they're just the goons that behind
Yeah,
that
the main villain
it's
of Hawkeye
underneath
was
the
was
yeah.
Ken and Vera Farmiga.
Yeah. So they're really they were just like the foot soldiers, you know? They weren't the villain. They were just the worker bees.
Even as worker bees, I'm like, what is going on? What is this? Why? How are they picking a fight with Kate and Clint? I just, anyway, I digress. I digress. Um, what did you guys think about the suit? I like the suit a lot.
I thought it was
Oh, I
great. I
think the
was just
costume's great. I
mad that
love
we
it.
didn't get it to the I
To
wish
the
we-
end.
and she looked so amazing. Like her hair, like they made sure she looked fabulous for episode 6. Like you know, she
Absolutely.
looked great. I loved it. I wish we could have got it in 5 too, but you know, I understand they were saving it.
They
You know,
always
she
do
had
that.
well, she was but she also was becoming, you know, Ms.
Well, it's the
Marvel.
origin.
So it
It's
makes
the, it's the
sense. It
symbolic
really
nature of the
makes
origin
sense.
story.
It really makes sense. Like, but I loved it so much that I wish we could have seen it earlier. But
Yeah.
in the context of the story, it made sense though. But she looks great.
Yeah.
You know, she really did. I love it.
Do you buy the mother making that suit?
Yes.
Listen, if Martha Kent can make Superman's costume, and
I'm still thinking that's a stretch, and I'm the Superman guy. That's
I
kind
don't
of
think it's a stretch because just culturally, like
culture. I mean,
you
yeah,
know,
culturally,
you
like there's
know,
like tailors and all those people that she can go to make something like that. And
yeah.
How did
by the
she
way, I
make the
love that. I
suit
love that her
invincible?
symbol came from her bracelet with her little necklace with her name. I thought that was a really cool touch. That's
Yeah,
how
that
she
was
got her
cool.
symbol.
Yeah, I thought that was
And her
nice.
name too. How she gets her name, Miss Marvel. I
Oh,
love that scene so
and I
much.
loved her dad. He was like this,
Yeah.
just the sweetest thing ever. And like when that moment, I was like, oh,
Yeah, and that's
this
like
is
see,
why
that's
you all
much
should
better.
have stayed home with daddy than
Right,
go
but I
to
love that
Kalachi
though
because I
because it's
missed
better than
him.
the comics because they added that
Yeah.
emotional connection. Like, okay,
Yeah.
this is why you're going to be called this, not because like you're copying another hero's name, but actually there's like an emotional reason for it.
Yeah, and then it's
So
like,
Yeah.
and then it's like fate. Like she's connected to Captain Marvel, you know, in a way, because like you know, her name means this, and then she is such a super fan of her, and then they have these names in common, so it's like they had this connection already, you know, which is I really like that too.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. That was nice how they did it because I was expecting to be like, oh, she's gonna call herself Miss Marvel because she's a Captain Marvel fangirl, but no, there was more meaning to that. I really like that a lot. Um, anything else you guys want to bring up before we get into the credit scene?
no, I think that's pretty much covers everything I wanted to get to.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's get to hot Captain Marvel.
Yes. Oh, actually, before we do that, we should also mention another big thing happened at the end of this show.
What happened? What's that?
They confirmed that Miss
Dun, dun,
Marvel
dun.
is a mutant.
Da-da-da-da-da.
She is the first
Wah,
mutant
wah, wah.
to be. Well, I
Sorry.
don't know if she's.
She's the first mutant that we know about.
that we know
She
about.
in the okay. Let's also say this because I've had this argument with people. She
Mhm.
is the first mainstay mutant, and
Oh, where
they
people try to
use
argue
the
that
word
Charles Xavier
mutation.
Doctor Strange is the
Yes,
first mutant. No,
yes.
it's not. No,
That who's the
Yeah.
first mutant? Who?
Doc,
Xavier and
Char-
Doctor Strange
Xavier.
too.
Oh.
I mean, you can argue it's the first one we've seen on screen, not the first one in the universe,
Yes.
and then like the movie in like our continuity.
Yeah, he was a one-off. You know, unfortunately.
in a different multiverse, you know.
Yes.
But
And they didn't actually call him a mutant, even though we know he's a mutant and
We
we heard
already
the
know.
music.
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
But you know,
But yeah, that was a nice little touch of how they did it. Like, you know, they were I don't feel like they were winking at the camera too much when they were doing that because it felt like just a casual conversation. Like, oh, mutation, okay. For the casuals who don't know, they were like, okay, that's it, that's all right. But for us diehards, we know what that means. X-Men, baby. But so I'm expecting them to call Namor a mutant. They better call him a mutant if since they did this. But that's what I gotta say about that. So yeah, I'm happy about that. I didn't expect for them to do it in Miss Marvel, but I'm happy that they are acknowledging the existence of mutants finally. So yeah,
So
can't.
are you? How do you feel about Ms. Marvel being a mutant? Though? Does that bother you?
No, not really. I don't think this really like drastically changes her as a character per se. I mean, I think it just opens the possibilities of what she would do with the X-Men going forward, maybe. But like, I don't feel like I don't know. I don't feel any ways about it. I know there'll probably be some diehard Captain Marvel
Oh
I mean
yeah.
Miss Marvel fans out there be like, "No, she's not a mutant. That's not how it's supposed to be. Why
Oh
is she
yeah.
stretching?" But I'm like, she's still I mean, I still feel like they kept the essence of what she is. And we already know the MCU does their own thing when it comes to the source material. So it's like this is nothing new. As long as they keep the essence of what the character is, I'm fine. But as I said, I'm cool with it. How do you guys feel about it?
I thought I was gonna hate the idea, but after seeing the one of the co-creators of the character talk about it and say like, well, the original intention was to make her a mutant, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, like that's fine. Like I'm just like, it's cool. It's gonna set her apart, I think, a little bit. I mean, it is a big change, but like I'm fine with it, honestly. Like if you're not gonna make her an Inhuman and you've made so many changes already, what's one more, right? I mean, I think that they never really should have done the new humans, the Terrigen Mist thing on Earth anyway. It should have always just stuck to the royal family and the people on the moon.
Hmm.
Yep. And I would say, like, going back to RJ's point and doubling down and going back, like, we know that X-Men and mutants, when it came to new properties, was a thing that they didn't want to happen. So it makes sense that they were trying to prop up the Inhumans in preparation for this show, and they didn't want to go the X-Men, the mutant X-Men route when it came to new characters. So when the co-creator of the character was like, I wanted her to be a mutant, it made sense. So it doesn't bother me, but I really thought in that moment they were going to say she was inhuman, and I kind of want to see inhuman characters, and that makes me like, all right, so does that mean we're not going to see Black Bolt? Are we not going to see these characters, or if we do, how is that going to come into the MCU? So that's my only concern.
Yeah,
It's like the bigger about the other characters that I would like to see. Um,
yeah.
if there's not going to be any Inhumans, or is like, are they going to say Inhumans and mutants are one and the same, possibly?
They might.
And that, this one sect of Inhumans that are on the moon, they're slightly different. Like we call them Inhumans, and then the ones on Earth are mutants. Like possibly we'll see. Like there's like, I don't know.
Mutants in space.
I mean, there are mutants in space, though. There are
There
some aliens
are
and
though. I
mutants,
mean, there
though. So,
are.
like, the whole clandestine thing, too, with the Order mention, like, it's not that far of a stretch because we do know that there exist mutants that are
Mm-hmm.
aliens, so.
Yeah, so
Yep.
I think they could still open the possibilities of Inhuman to like make it a more of a connection with like the regular X-Men. Just be like, okay, I mean, it's not that much of not much of a difference. They're just mutants in space. They have a different like slightly different genes, but they come from the same type of like atoms or whatever it is. Scientific mumbo jumbo. But I don't even know if or when they'll ever touch Inhumans again. Even though we got Black Bolt, which I
Maybe in
didn't
the
expect.
Marvels. Maybe the Marvels. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe you never know. You never know. But I just
I mean,
please be
this is
better,
big ramifications
huh?
going forward, obviously, and I think too,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think this is very purposeful. I think next week at Comic-Con is like the perfect lead-in after this finale. So
I
we'll see.
agree. I agree. Anything's possible. Okay, now we can get into this credit scene. So, mid-credit scene. Uh, Miss Marvel is in her room checking herself out in the mirror in the costume, and then out of nowhere, the bracelet starts freaking out, and then it causes this
But she's
explosion.
laying on the
Oh,
bed,
she's
isn't
laying on
she?
the bed
Yeah,
or whatever she does.
yeah.
Yes. And then yeah, the bracelet freaks out, and then it makes her like crash into her closet door, and then who pops out? Brie Larson as Captain Marvel comes out, and it turns out that Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel switched places. So where did Miss Marvel go? We
To
don't know.
space.
To space.
Can you imagine though if Captain Marvel was like
Or-
flying through space and like is not in our atmosphere, and then Kamala got transported there? Like she would like be
Yeah,
dead.
she can't breathe in
Or-
space.
Or she might be where the location of where the other bangle is.
Yeah, but the only thing that's confusing is that Captain Marvel wasn't wearing any bangles on her. Like
Yeah,
if
but
touched
she
the
could have
bangle-
found it, touched it, and then
That's
that
true. That's
connection.
possible.
I'm not saying, yeah, she wasn't wearing
Her
it,
parents gonna be
obviously.
like, "Where's our kid? Who are you? Like, why are you here?"
Yeah, I am interested to see that interaction in the Marvels.
I mean, maybe that's gonna be part of the movie in the Marvels, though. Maybe Kamala like gets trapped somewhere, and like it's like, oh crap, I gotta go rescue this random kid I don't know about. You know,
I bet she goes to like find Monica.
to like go help her find Kamala.
And Monica's like, "Bitch, get out of here. I don't like you."
Oh yeah,
Damn.
I'm looking forward to
Not-
that. The tension between those two.
Not like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like they don't like each other. She don't like her, you know?
Mm. Wait, I thought
There's
thought
animosity there.
Oh, I didn't-
From Monica to her.
Yeah, Monica doesn't like Carol because what happened with her mom.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
she feels like she left them behind, and we'll get a lot more of that information. You know,
Okay.
I don't know. Like probably that last time she saw her as a kid, she's been gone. You know,
Yeah.
they might have seen each other here and there, but I think she feels like that she abandoned her mother. Like, you know, especially because you know she died, and she probably wasn't there during that time.
Right.
But we'll see. It's just like a thought.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting dynamic for
And
sure.
are they going to be secret lovers? They're going to do it?
Wait, Captain Marvel and Monica?
Maria.
Oh, Maria?
Are they going to go there? Or do you think they're going to go ahead and say that, RJ? What do you think?
It's possible. I mean, they kind of already. There's like.
I mean, because they implied it, but they haven't really been like, you know, like, are they going to just like go for it? What do you think? That's what I'm asking. I don't know. That's why I'm asking your thoughts, guys.
I mean, after the Lightyear controversy, I don't know. I think they want to tread lightly.
Well, the movie's already it's already wrapped, so
yeah, it's already wrapped.
Oh, whatever
I mean,
happens,
they could cut it
happens.
out. Yeah, they could cut it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are doing reshoots.
But
the Lightyear thing was 5 seconds. People are just.
I know. It's just I don't know why people are bitching about it.
I don't think
People
that's
like to
what
complain,
really
that's
hurt the
why.
movie, because I mean, like, I enjoyed it, but that movie wasn't as good as it could have been, or as fun as it should have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's a different topic.
A lot of people were shipping Valkyrie and Captain Marvel.
No, please no.
He's just like, no, nope. I don't know.
I know Tessa Thompson and Brie Larson were like campaigning for that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens.
I'd rather like Valkyrie, like not like you know, find her own woman in her own world instead of like being with like, even though they're in the same universe. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't know if I want that.
Mm.
Like, I would rather her be with Lady Sif. That would be awesome. I think that's who she should be with. You know, that would be pretty.
Or
cool.
they do Lady Sith and Thor going forward.
Yeah, because that should have been a thing from the beginning. But you know.
Yeah, but I would like it to be Lady Sif and Valkyrie.
That could work too.
I just feel like it could work.
Yeah. The other thing though about the that post credit scene too that's gonna be interesting is like, so are they doing the Nega bands?
I think so. Like probably, maybe. I thought it could be the quantum bands, but
going for, but I don't know.
I decided
like that whole scene make you guys more excited for the Marvels now after the show.
I'm more. I started to like once before Amon Vellani. I saw watched the series. Just like, because I like Tiana Parrish as Monica Rambeau. I just enjoy her character. So I was excited just because she was going to be in it. And then I was like, well, this might be a cool dynamic between the three of these characters. And now that I've seen Amon Vellani, I'm like really hyped. and the new director. So
New writer too,
the
thank
new
God.
writers,
Thank
all
God.
of it. I
Oh
think
my
that
gosh.
overall it's going to be a better film, and I
What
think
you like
that I
I
love.
thought that post
Uh,
credit too.
yeah, and I really love Captain Marvel's new look. I love her. I like it.
Oh,
I like
this is the best
I
she's
love the
looked in my
navy combat boots. I love the hair. I
the
love it all. I'm
gloves. I
like
like the
the
gloves.
gloves. I
Yeah.
know.
Not
It
bad.
was
Not
just
bad.
it
Yeah.
was a really cool look. I'm like, if
If that's what
she's
I
got
hope
a
that's your look
bad
in the
look.
movie.
I hope so. They and Nick, what's her Nikia? Is it Nikita? I was messing her name up. Nikia DaCosta. She directed that post credit scene too.
Yep, she did.
Nice. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was already. I mean, I was already looking forward to it. Not so much because of Brie Larson, because of Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau. And I
But
did
here's
like.
the thing, though, like real quick though, did it not feel like Brie Larson like had a different energy in that post credit scene?
She
Yeah, it
does.
seemed like
She
she
does.
slightly tried
Yeah.
harder. Yes.
It's like it
Well, I
just
mean,
felt like
it's
it felt
not
like a
that she
different
didn't try
person,
hard in the
kinda.
first film.
Yeah.
She has
No, she didn't.
Cree blood. No, she's
She
of
didn't.
Cree blood. She's devoid
Oh,
of
they want to do the
emotion.
Cree blood
That is
excuse.
Captain Marvel is in the cap. That's who Carol Danvers is in the comic books.
So
She's
she's
not
boring.
a very compelling character. No, she's not because she's devoid of emotion.
So
And
she's
she had
boring.
no memory of who she was, right? So she has to get that stuff back and gain those emotions back because she's taught not to have those emotions because that makes her weak as a soldier.
Okay.
So I mean, when
I
it comes
just.
to the story was a mess, but when it came to her performance and her nailing it, she hit it on the nose.
So she nailed a dry performance. That's what she nailed.
The
Like,
character is supposed to be devoid of emotion. I don't feel that her
why does this
performance was
conversation?
dry.
Why does
I
this
feel that she
conversation
was
sound so
devoid of
familiar?
emotion. I feel that she was also trying to figure out who she was and was a little bit lost there. I mean, I thought that she had moments where she had sparks of that personality, but where she was trained and had been it was subdued a bit, but you saw moments where she
Yeah,
had
it's
it.
like it's
You
like
know,
it's like she didn't know who she was too. So it's also
yeah,
like she was trying to just be a stone cold soldier, and I think part like the biggest problem with that movie is that you have a protagonist that's like devoid of personality, but that's like the intention, so it's kind of hard to
mhm,
judge. But I will
yeah,
say though, in Endgame, she kind of was a
more
little
person.
devoid
Yeah,
of personality as well, though.
she
But
had a
that was
little
the
bit
first time
more.
she performed as the character. They had no clue what to do with her because um they weren't like it was the Russo brothers being like we don't want to really do much with you because we don't know what they're gonna do in your movie kind of deal. So now it's like I think this movie's gonna define who Carol is as a character.
Why does this? Why
Yeah,
does this conversation sound so familiar, Ashley?
I don't know.
It's like she's supposed to be dry and stoic because that's how the character is. This reminds me of another performance that we saw recently that was dry and stoic, and Ashley had a problem with it. But I was like, that's how the character is.
No, 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 no. You're talking about
Giggle.
Reed Richards. I did not say that he was dry and stoic. I said he was not believable. There's a big freaking difference. 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 I don't believe John Krasinski is freaking Reed Richards. He was just like there for 5 seconds. He didn't do anything. He didn't feel like Reed Richards to me. He
To
just
be
felt
fair
like
to John, though, to be fair to John Krasinski, though, it was like super, super, super last minute at the very end of reshoot.
yes, but it wasn't very good either. So to be fair to him.
Well,
I'm just glad that
agree
he's
to
not going to be
disagree.
Reed Richards. He's not going to be Reed Richards, so that's the exciting part. Hopefully,
That's not the
He'll probably be
exciting
in the
part.
Council of Reeds, though. Whenever
he
they
is
do
not Reed Richards. Like to me, he's just like a big dummy. John Krasinski does not convey.
On the bright side, though, like I said, though,
intelligence.
he'll be back when they do Council of Reeds.
Yes, so you'll get him back, Dio.
Great.
But I just don't think he conveys intelligence.
Okay, and I don't think Brie Larson.
The cockiness is there, but I don't buy that he is this
the smartest man in the universe.
Yeah, the smartest. Like I feel like he just needs to go like punch stuff, you know.
Okay, we'll disagree on that.
That's what John Krasinski is. He's goofy or he needs to punch stuff now. Like that's he's not really like the intelligent. Like he does not seem like he's not that great of an actor. First of all, okay.
I mean,
what about Jason Segel as the Thing?
I mean, he's a silly guy, so I could see it, but
Yeah, I do not see that at all. I
I
don't.
could see it. I
What
find
is
he's
going on
funny.
right now?
But I mean, he was just be the voice essentially, and then like
Mocap.
they might in mocap. I mean, he can do some of the shit. We'll see.
Oh boy. But anyway,
He could,
back to huh?
but we'll see. I don't
Wait,
know
wait,
if it's true.
wait. Back to the Marvels.
Back to the
I
electric.
just right. I just don't care for Brie Larson as Carol Danvers. She's just not doing it for me. She's probably my least favorite Avenger in the MCU right now. I'm hoping in the Marvels she is better and she will change my mind. But like up until this point, there are slight, as you guys said, there are moments where she just does show
Yeah,
slight personality, but it's not enough for me to be like I care about what happens to you.
to her character. I get it.
Right. So, but as I said, maybe with different direction, better writing, she'll be better. I'm just me personally, I'm not the biggest Brie Larson fan. Like, I know she's an award-winning actress, but I have yet to see her in anything where I thought she
I
was
liked her
great.
in Just Mercy.
Yeah, she was good in that one. I like that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
probably
really
the
like
best.
him. I like, and I mean, but I get it. Like, I'm not like repping for her performance in the first Captain Marvel movie. I'm just saying, like, when it came to like the Stone Cold character, like with no emotion, like, and that's who the character is. I think that they took the wrong approach with some of it. You know what I mean? With how she was played, and the script was a mess, and the way she was directed. It's just it was bad at times. But I don't think Captain Marvel is as bad as people make it out to be because other things around her. But I do agree with RJ that it does seem like she has more energy and personality. And it seemed like you see that like she has 10 times the personality in that little bitty clip than she had in the first film. You know
I
what I mean?
agree with that. I agree with that.
So I'm excited that hopefully this character this time around will make me care enough about who she is because too, and like in her story I
Hmm.
understood what they were going for because I knew the character from the comics, and I was always like the person, why are they making Captain Marvel a Captain Marvel film when she's not that great of a character anyway? You know what I mean? Like her comics sometimes underperform, they cancel them, they don't work. Her character is basically a stoic asshole essentially too, you know what I mean? But she has
Yeah.
less emotions than a lot of the other characters who are more interesting, who are uber intelligent, who are like these dynamic like trip characters like Reed or Hank Pym. She doesn't have that. um she's not that interesting, but she is stoic and uninteresting and doesn't have a whole lot of emotions.
Yeah, but like I
Uh,
said though, I think that with the new director in there, new writer, I think they're gonna finally like. Plus, it's gonna be more of an ensemble movie. It's not just gonna be just on hers, and it's gonna have other actors to work off of. So I think it's gonna change the energy too a little bit.
yeah. RJ, before you go,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
give us your final thoughts and grades.
Like I said, this is probably my favorite Marvel Disney Plus show since Loki and WandaVision. Because just so you know, my favorite Marvel Disney Plus show thus far is Loki. I love Loki. I thought that was tremendous. Uh, it might edge out WandaVision slightly for me for my number two spot, but I gotta really think about it. It's at least for sure in the top three. I thought this show was gonna be a disaster, and I came away saying this is one of my favorite Marvel things in a while, and it kind of rejuvenates some of my energy when it comes to Marvel a little bit, at least on the Disney Plus side. And I'm really excited to see more of Amon Villani and where Kamala Khan goes from here. I thought she's like probably one of the best additions to the MCU since Shang-Chi. So I really like the show a lot. I had a lot of fun with it. And I'm hoping She-Hulk is good too. I'm hoping She-Hulk can continue this good hot streak we may be on, you know? Because I like Moon Knight, so.
I'm glad you did.
It wasn't that
LOL.
bad. Moon Knight wasn't that bad.
I liked it till I didn't. Yeah, after I
Listen,
liked the first
the
episode.
finale was rushed, but the acting carried that show. The acting
Yeah,
was
I liked him. That was the best thing, but it wasn't.
Uh,
I like the first episode a lot, and but I had issues with the first episode, and
Episode 5 of Moon Knight, though, the penultimate episode was fire.
I liked every moment where if Isaac, yeah, I said Isaac, I did it again.
Isaac Isaac.
I just did it again. I do that at Oscar Isaacs. If he was just acting against himself for the whole thing, I probably would have loved it because those were my favorite parts of the whole show.
I liked when Moon Knight was on screen for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but listen, drama and character building, okay?
It was a different type of thing, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't your quintessential superhero show, okay? It's fine.
Yeah, I got it. Anyway, final grade. What you got?
Final grade,
45.
like I do like a rating out of 10, or you want to do like A, B, C, D?
You could do ABC or letter
ABC?
grades, whatever. I mean numbers or letters, whatever you feel.
I will go with a B plus, and I'll go 8 out of 10.
Oh, perfect.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I gave it a little bit lower.
The only reason I gave it a B plus, not an A minus, and like an 8 out of 10, so like an 8.5 or 9 is because of the villains. The villains really weighed the show down, but that's really it. It's like the only big issue with the show.
Okay.
Yeah, I give it a 7.5.
Okay, 7.5 is respectable. That's good.
That's probably what I would give it to. I'd give it like a good like 7.
The only, and people give me crap about it, like WandaVision is the only one that's above an 8 for me.
Really? What about Loki though? Loki, I think
Loki's an 8.5. It's close. It's close. I've like seen the season finale probably 30 times. Like I know every word. Like I'm a nerd. Like I know every word of that whole thing.
Well, you guys know the only show I liked out. Yeah, you guys know the only show I liked outside of this was What If, which would probably be a solid 8 for me. I don't give a shit what y'all think. I like What If.
like it. Moments of What If.
I like What If too. Some of the episodes didn't work for me, but the ones that worked really worked for me. I'd say the majority of the episodes I liked. So
I think a few of them worked for me. So it was like a 6 for me. But like to me,
Strange episode, man.
That was the best, and I liked the Yellow Jacket. Like when the Avengers died, I loved that episode. Yeah. Those are the episodes I really liked.
I liked all of them except the
How about
Thor,
Hawkeye? How'd you guys rate
Thor? Huh?
How'd you guys rate Hawkeye? I'm curious.
Oh, Hawkeye? Oh, okay. So now I have this new grading
7.
system. It's probably going to be like a good. It's probably going to be that.
No, it was better than that.
D plus. Woo.
I was upset.
I would say maybe a 6.5.
Hawkeye's like a 6 for me. Yeah, it's like a 6.
It's above average.
Yeah.
Y'all are so nice.
Right along the lines of average. Like for me, it's average. It's like right in the middle. It's not above average. It's pure average.
And this is probably Moon Knight, but I don't know.
Ooh. Moon Knight is like a 6. Maybe. I might have said it was a 7, but like I like to think about my grades because like I'm like after I think about it, but I think it's a 6. It's a 6 point, maybe a 6.5. Just because Oscar Isaac. I think I gave it a 7 just because of his acting. So yeah, I would probably still give it a 7.
Does this give me more hope that the future shows are gonna be good? Do I think She-Hulk's gonna be good? No, this still doesn't store my confidence. But
I'm telling you,
if She-Hulk
is going to surprise people.
I hope it does. I really hope it does, man.
Yeah, if She-Hulk even has half of the effort that Miss Marvel does, I will be happy. I
just don't like sloppy people like hooking up with everybody.
Yeah, we'll see how that's
Again,
handled.
that show has a really talented actress, Tatiana Maslany.
Oh, she's but I didn't watch her other show.
But yeah, those are overall thoughts on Miss Marvel. Tell us what you guys think about it in the comments down below. Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? Where does this compare with the other Marvel shows? Where does this compare in the MCU for you? If you feel that bold, let us know down below. I'd like to thank K. Dot, the Widow, and RJ for joining with me on this stream. Please subscribe to all three of their channels. They got some good stuff on there. If you guys enjoyed this stream, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And if you want to be notified of future videos I'll be doing, you want to see more from me, please hit the subscribe button and please hit the bell while you're at it.
Yeah, because you. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Did you want me to sing it or not?
You can sing. Go ahead, sing.
Because you don't want to miss a thing. There you go.
Good. Very nice. Very, very nice. So, the next Marvel project we'll be talking about is She-Hulk. So, tune in.
He's already sighing, guys. He's already.
Yeah, he's already ready.
Look.
He already took deep breaths.
Look, Miss Marvel crossed the finish line. I will give it that. It crossed the finish line, but that does not mean I think the other shows are going to come in and be like, oh, they're good now. I'll tell you this. If there's 3 shows that's 3 in a row that I think are good, then I will start to have more faith in the shows. If they hit 3 in a row, then I'll be like, okay, now we're in it again. But now,
the fact that you sighed before you even seen it, that's what it cracks me up.
I mean, have you seen the trailers? Have you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, but they fixed the CGI. Have you seen the update? Have you seen the updated pit? Like, have you seen the?
Yeah, they fixed the effects. Yes, she looks better. But how's the writing? That's what I'm.
I think I liked the trailer. It felt fun. It was like once I saw like the CG, I was like, oh god! I remember my reaction. I was like,
Well, real quick. Do you like Rick and Morty?
No.
I've
never watched Rick and Morty. Let me say that.
Do you know about the Pickle Rick episode?
I've heard about it. Yes.
Same writer as She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're doomed. We're doomed.
No, we're not. It's supposed to be a comedy. What?
But also, it's
no more comedy.
And they say Tim Roth is great.
Written by a She-Hulk superfan. So.
And Tim Roth is great, apparently.
Tim Roth. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Tim Roth.
And it's gonna break the fourth wall too. So
yeah, I know that's how she is in the comics, but it's like I trust more with Ryan Reynolds and Fox doing that, but MCU doing that, they're probably go overboard with it. But we'll see. Open mind. Y'all can call me a hater if you want, but I will give it an open mind. I hope it surprises me too. But anyway, that's all we have for you, Marvel fans, and we will see you guys next time
on this Marvel channel.
Yes, well, no, it's a Marvel channel, it's a DC channel, it's a Star Wars channel, it's a.
I'm joking.
It's a channel with a lot of things. But anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.